What is up, fellas? It has been reported that Carmelo Anthony is expected to sign with the Rockets 1 year, $2.4 million. And when you look at the Houston Rockets, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think they got much better. I really don't. I mean, Carmelo Anthony is not the same. Yes, he can score the basketball sometimes. When you look at him with the Oklahoma City Thunder last year, it just wasn't what they expected offensively. And the Houston Rockets are going after him. They want him. They think he's going to be a great addition with Chris Paul, James Harden. I just don't think he brings that type of basketball to that team. When you look at the guys they lose with Ariza and just the type of culture they had last year compared to this year, I just don't know if Carmelo Anthony is really the answer. When you look at him defensively, he's garbage. Now, I understand that when you look at their head coach and the way he likes to play the game, it's fast-paced. It's up, down, up, down, up, down. Let's go. Let's push it. Let's push it. Let's push the pace. Let's go up. Let's shoot some jump shots. Pull up from three. That's what they like to do. So, obviously, adding a shooter like Carmelo for that type of price tag, you look at it, it's like, oh, okay, we'll see what happens. But is he really what he was? Is he really the same Carmelo Anthony that he was in his prime? You know what I'm saying? I just don't see it. And I know when he came out and he was potential for any team, I said, oh, should the Sixers grab him for the bench? And I said, maybe he could bring you something on the bench. But when you have Carmelo Anthony on your team, you need him to be that guy because that's what he thinks of himself as. That's the type of game that he plays. He needs to be that guy, the guy that is primarily shooting the ball, having the ball in his hands. I just don't think he's the best addition for this type of Houston Rockets team. I just don't. They lose Luke Mbamute, right? Another player on the wing who plays good defense. Does Carmelo play good defense? No. And I just don't know if he's somebody that's going to be effective with James Harden and Chris Paul, who are primarily the ball handlers. Carmelo Anthony wants to go up and play the pull-up game, play the game that he's always played, and it hasn't been effective in the last couple of years. It hasn't been. When you look at Russell Westbrook being the guy who always had the ball in his hands, and Paul George, Carmelo wasn't good on that team when he wasn't the guy. So, expected to sign with the Houston Rockets for one year, 2.4. But don't forget, when he gets bought out by Atlanta, he still gets paid about $30 million. He still gets paid that money for the contract. So it's not a huge pay cut for him because he's still getting paid. But I'm just curious, how do you feel about Carmelo? Do you think the Houston Rockets are actually better from last year's roster to this year? Because I don't. I don't think Carmelo is that great of a player anymore. I really don't see it, especially when he's not going to be it. He's not going to be the superstar. He's not going to have the ball in his hands. Chris Paul is going to be shooting it. James Harden's going to be shooting it. He's just not the same. That's just how I feel about it. He's not the same to be this splash, to be the piece that gets them over the Golden State Warriors. Do you think the addition of Carmelo Anthony is the answer to the problems of the Houston Rockets not getting past the Golden State Warriors? Because I don't. They lose defense around the perimeter with some guys from last year's roster, and they add someone who's way worse defensively. So it's going to be interesting to see how it all plays out. Maybe the fact that Chris Paul and they're brothers, they have this friendship, they have this bond that now they get to go out and play with each other. It's just a different feel, and they love it, and they just have this beautiful connection on the court. And maybe they go, Carmelo, listen, this is how we're going to need to use you. I don't know. But is it worth the chance? Maybe for that price tag, maybe. But I just can't see Carmelo Anthony being the solution to getting over the hump of beating the Golden State Warriors, especially after losing the type of perimeter players that they did from last season. Let me know your thoughts down below. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.